Hotepu everyone, this is King Ra Sumabatag, the world's first openly gay African king. And I wish to forewarn you today about upcoming events in your life. Love problems, love problems, love problems. Because these two planets here, this is called Heru Apshetataui, or Jupiter we call it, and we call this planet Benosar, so this is Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter recently entered this sign of the wheat called the Virgin, or Virgo, along with Benosar Venus also entered the wheat, and there happened to be their Sebek, or Sepku, Mercury, all in the wheat. Okay, now, this is a very tricky time in relationships. You're going to find that people begin to act weird, they act erratic, they act in rather extreme turns of face, 180s, because Benosar Venus is what's called debilitated when it enters the wheat, meaning the wheat can't stand that planet, and that planet can stand the wheat. Each planet is one of your talents and the science of something. So this planet, this green Benosar Venus, is the science of love. Also your talent for love. It is the science of relationships, as well as your talent for relationships. So, as above, so below, when this spirit of Venus, Benosar, enters the wheat, it becomes weakened. Because the wheat is very fastidious, it's very particular, it's nitpicking, it's detailed, it's very analytical, and doesn't allow for anything to slip by. That's what the wheat does here. But Benosar likes to be relaxed and tolerant and patient and forgiving, all the things the wheat can't stand. So whenever this spirit enters the wheat, when Venus is in the wheat, every time this happens each year, there are problems in relationships. And as a result, you'll find that something built up that was a crescendo of a relationship, or something that was building up and gaining momentum and looking really good, will tend to have a sudden crash, an almost crash and burn effect. So be careful of how you're going to turn against your mates, turn against your lovers, and how they may turn against you at this time. So right now the love spirit is miserable, and to compound the problem, here we have Heru Apsheta, or Jupiter, in the wheat, and Jupiter does very poorly in the wheat. You want to be careful whenever Jupiter, or Tehuti Apsheta, is damaged, because you make a lot of miscalculations, a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of misjudgments. And right now, since these two damaged planets, the one of clear thinking and accurate thinking and of love, they're both in horrific condition in terms of their dignity or their position, that relationships are going to have a lot of problems for about the next month for sure. It is not a good time to engage relationship issues. Let it wait. It's not a good time to make sudden turns in the relationship. Let it wait, because you're not thinking clearly. When Benosar Venus is damaged, you tend to see the worst of something, or you take something so small, so minute, so nitpicking, and you blow it out of proportion. Because Tehuti Jupiter here likes to blow things out of proportion when he's not doing well. So this is really a rough time for love, for relationships. And many people, if they don't follow my counsel, will find they will blow relationships. They're going to make a big mistake. And some things you do in a relationship cannot ever be undone. Can never be undone. So you want to be careful. Okay? Don't get any bright ideas right now. Don't have some kind of freedom call or need my space movement or things of that sort. You want to take your time, relax. You want to use this time to analyze your relationship, really look at it carefully and objectively. Okay? Maybe have someone who is an expert in relationships. If you really need help, get someone who is an expert, not a loser in relationships, not an alcoholic or a drug addict. They don't know relationships. Not someone that's not ever been in a long-term. Don't ask a bunch of losers about relationships. You want to ask, the wheat is about people who are very good at what they do. They're very skilled. And even the skilled counselor may have some issues this month. If you're a counselor, a love counselor or a marriage counselor, or any kind of counselor, because of Tehuti here also being damaged, you may tend to make mistakes and misjudgments with your diagnoses, with your medication prescriptions. If you are a doctor, be very careful with this. So what I have observed with this is that people, when they have this configuration in the heavens, they do something very weird in a relationship. Like they have a complete change of behavior, or they want to try something new like threesomes, or I need my space all of a sudden, or I have to move into my apartment and I can't talk to you right now. Just weirdo things. And it may not be undoable once you make that bad move. Now, there is one more thing that's dangerous about this time. It's not shown here, but this planet here, this spirit, we call them spirits, of Herkohuti or Mars, is acting wildly. He's in a condition where he's acting far from the norm. He's very radical. He's very hard to control. This will increase police problems. People want to rush more. You're going to have more of a hothead, more impatience. You're going to break the speed limit more and get tickets. You're going to get angry really quickly. So you combine that kind of short fuse, rashness that wants to be free and do my own thing and roam with the wolves kind of thing, combined with the mistakes of Tehuti here and the negative view of relationship with Ben Osar here, you're going to make rash, sudden love moves that are going to crash and burn. Crash and burn. And because Ptah here, Saturn, is conjunct Herkohuti Mars, when Ptah touches another planet or affects it, we call it hikr, which means like starving something, to starve someone. So right now, Herkohuti, your inner warrior, is feeling starved. He's feeling that he has no freedom, that he has no energy, and you don't want an aggressive person feeling cornered. You don't want someone who's insecure and impatient feeling edgy. And that's exactly what's happening. So right now, just be careful. I have seen this before. And there's one benefit here, which is Sebek here, Mercury. He's in his own sign. He's exalted. So what that means is he's doing very well. He's able to attain through clear thinking and logical thinking. It's being exalted. You should exalt clarity of mind. You should think very carefully through your relationships, because Ben Osar is debilitated and Tehuti is detrimented. Tehuti is going to damage Sebek and Ben Osar, send those crazy philosophy ways, those miscalculations and mistakes he's going to pour over these two. Ben Osar is going to poison Sebek and Tehuti with negative visions of what's going on, the glass half empty, this obsessiveness with nitpicking on what's not really there. So just be careful, stay cool, don't get any bright ideas, don't do anything new in love, just hold your guns. In a few weeks, Ben Osar will leave the wheat, enter a great sign of the scales, and then for 1 month after that, we'll go into another awful sign, the scorpion. So we have 1 month coming up where things will be better with relationships. You have a 1 month window before another horrible time in relationship. It's going to be very rough in about 2 months. Okay? All right. That is the will of heaven. This is the gay astronomy of the Golden Beetle. And we look forward to giving you more information of heaven. Dwa Wen Hotepu.